So yeah, that's what happened. We lost the Valencia tournament. It is what it is. I get kicked after that tournament. Like I said, I kind of already knew that was kind of coming. It felt like that was the general feeling of the team. I get kicked from the team. They didn't have faith that I would keep getting better, you know, as I thought I would, because, you know, I just started playing solo and everything again.
Rolls, trips, feather step one more time, trying to avoid. Fineokay puts team rival on the board, punishes the aggressive jungler, and Cyclone near to fall, will as well. Double kill for the soloid rotation. Fineokay lining it up, going for kill number 4. He has a quadra kill, almost accidentally.
No mistakes, just happy accident. Bob Ross, right? I hope you guys like this shirt, and I hope you guys like this video that we're going to be making today, or watching today, because I do think that there's going to be some happy little accidents in it, let's just say. But yeah, what's going on, guys? We're going to be watching some SPL highlights, some SPL plays, games for my career here in the SPL. Now, the point of this video isn't really to just be like, you know, here are all my highlights, look what I can do. There are going to be some highlights, and we're going to watch that and just hopefully have some fun. But I also kind of just want to give you guys like a rundown of my story and my time in the SPL. I'm not going to cover everything. Like, I'm not going to have all the good games that I've ever played in. I'm not even going to have basically last year's games, like the finals, because that's more recent, and I think a lot of people are up to date with that. I kind of want to give some new viewers who are maybe new to Smite, give them basically a little rundown of my time in the SPL over the past 3 or 4 years. So that's kind of the point of this video, and hopefully we have some fun with it. I put together a little compilation of games and stuff, and I try to tell you guys all the backstories and everything behind some of these games and these highlights, so be more invested, maybe more interested. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. So this screen, as you're seeing right now, week 5, this is season 4 Smite Pro League in the spring split. So I was in the Challenger Cup at this time. As you guys can see, based on this leaderboard, Soar Gaming down here at 0. They've played 3 matches and they've lost all 3 of their matches, right? They're at the bottom of the leaderboard. Now, it's still early in the split, right? But Benji was on this team. The team consisted of Vedium, Jigs, Andinster, Homie FA, and Benji solo. Benji was the solo laner for this team. He decided to quit the team and join a different team after their 3rd week in the SPL. Now, they needed a solo laner. At the time, I was a jungler. But I actually asked Vedium, I DM'd him on Twitter, and I was like, yo, can I get a tryout? Because I had played solo lane before, like I was a solo laner in the Challenger Cup for a while. I just switched over to jungle for a little bit, for about half a year, because I just wanted to jungle, and I thought that there weren't a lot of good junglers in the Challenger Cup. So at the time, I was still a jungler, but I asked for a tryout, and I was actually given the opportunity just because they were pretty much desperate. Like, they were really desperate, so they just gave me the opportunity to try out for them, and we were 0-3 at the time, and, you know, this is our very first. This is my very first ever game in the SPL. So keep in mind with all these clips and stuff, it's gonna jump around. You're not really gonna see like the whole game. I kind of just want to give you guys like a small picture of what it was like back then. And also, like, if you really want to watch the whole game or watch the whole series of anything like that, you can always go back and watch it on Smite Pro. And yeah, this is my first ever game in the SPL. I was playing Amaterasu. I was on Team Sorware versus Flashpoint. Look at these names. I was against Mirage, Aquarius, Incon, Shadowq, and Xenotronics. A lot of you new players may not recognize anybody over here besides maybe Incon, because he's the only one that's really still around for the most part. And then obviously on my team, I was with Homie, Andy, Jigs, and Vedium. So first ever game in the SPL. I was so happy to finally get a shot, because I had been trying so long to get out of the Challenger Cup and into the SPL. And I was happy to be a solo laner as well, just because I had played it so much before. And once I got into the team, I was just ecstatic to finally be playing in the SPL.
A very good time against that Jigs.
Incon gonna fall as well. Fineokay, there's his debut kill in the
First ever kill in the SPL, guys.
Aquarius picks up Vedium in response. Homie
not too great. The way this team worked is
we
actually won this team fight pretty easily. We'll clean up. DSide. Let's go.
Looking to get their first points on the season.
I'll pause too. So the way this team worked is, since I had just joined and I never played in the SPL, and I was also just getting used to the solo meta because I hadn't been playing it for a while, I was pretty bad. And the way the team worked was, I would basically play really low pressure gods, give up all my blues, and just like play back, because I was probably the worst player on the team at the time. And you know, just let my team do their thing in the other side of the map, and then I would try and come into the team fights and just be like a, you know, just like a frontliner that doesn't die, doesn't feed in the early game, and just does my job. You know, that's how I was on this team.
And they're off to a good start right now.
Characters seem
So this
as
is the end
though
of our
they're
first
just
game ever.
not
My first game in the
taking
SPL is a
slice.
win.
By this much.
To be
You
fair, we were
can
playing
do
against
whatever you
Flashpoint,
want.
and
Sword decides they've had
Flashpoint
enough.
was also really bad
21
at this
to
time.
4. They end
They were
the
not a
game
good
at the
team,
23
so
and a half minute
that definitely
mark.
helped.
Sword
It was a good a
finally
good entry game for me into the SPL,
on
and
the board here in the
we
spring
finally got a
split.
win.
Scylla, I love
the
this
board.
draft coming.
So skipping ahead, we played through that spring split, and we actually did really well. Once I was on the team, we actually made it. I don't remember exactly what we placed, but we went from the bottom of the SPL basically towards the middle, and then we qualified for the LAN. So now we're actually playing at the LAN. This is the qualifying LAN. This is the spring split qualifying LAN for the summer finals. Or maybe it's the summer LAN qualifying for the summer finals. I'm not sure. But basically, we're playing at a LAN. We went from the bottom of the bottom of the leaderboard, bottom seed, pretty high up, and now we're playing at a LAN to play at DreamHack. Now, the winner of this game, I believe the winner of this game actually qualifies for DreamHack Valencia. So we get to travel to Spain and play a Smite tournament. So the winner of this game, it's a very important game. We're playing in memory of Gabe, rather. That team was actually really good. As you can see, it was filled with Eonic, Herwind, Snoopy, Cynosure, Walrus, all really good players, right? And this was like our true test to see if we were a really good team, because in memory of Gabe had a lot of good players. We had been doing pretty decent throughout the split, and this was our time to, like, you know, we're actually playing for something. We're playing for a spot in Spain. Playing my signature Hercules. Getting the kill, baby. A lot of these, like, things that I'm going to show you are just things that I remember that I wanted to, like, share with you guys and talk to you about, because, like, there's other things I could have showed you, and there's probably things that I've even forgotten about that are pretty cool. But these are just things that I remember about my career that have, like, stuck with me in my memory. Like this game specifically, like this was my first pop-off Hercules game. This is my second kill in the game. Chasing out Hurry.
I lost my faith.
Hurry says he lost his faith. So we get the double kill early on in the game, and like I said, this is my first like pop-off Hercules game, and like we were down 0-1. So if we lost this next game, Valencia was done for us. So this was a must-win game. So I, you know, pick the signature Hercules and go to town. Nice Amma ult into Scylla ult. Nice damage. They overextend a little bit. Jigs and Homie both get killed. But I come around back, block Snoopy's dash, and get a double kill. Well, I don't get the double kill, but we're killing everybody basically with the flank. Cynosure playing Chang'e jungle. Vedium cleans that up. Yeah, Vedium cleans that up. Look how hard the Scylla crush hurts. Boom, one shot. He one-shot the Vamana because at this time you'd go Bluestone straight into Breastplate, so you actually had no magical defense. So Scylla, I mean, as you guys know right now, Scylla's popping off as a very good character, but like she was good back then as well, and that was Andy's signature pick. He loved Scylla and Ra, and he popped off on those most of the time. So we also had this combo. I don't know if you guys can notice, but we have this Hercules Cabrakan combo, and you guys probably know about the Cabrakan ult and the Hercules ult, and having the rock just bounce around in the cage, I guess in the walls.
It could be anything.
Yeah, we're basically just like stomping this whole game. I'm 7-0-7 at this point, just getting a lot of cleanup kills. Hercules is really good for getting last hits with his one, does a lot of damage. We have another team fight at the Gold Fury. We're up 20-4. Actually, a big ult by Cyno with the Chang'e ult. But then we hit that Cabrakan combo into Scylla ult and just popped off. Hit the Cabrakan Hercules combo. Get a double kill at gold. Now 9-0-8. Like I said, my first pop-off Hercules game.
Fineokay, 9 kills now for the new solo laner.
And we just clean up.
Is just watching as his
They're smiling because it's still only 1-1.
Herwin's still 1 HP.
No. Gotta win the next game to actually win.
He was out. Herwin was out, and then he
hit him with a little bit of a taunt. Homie, he loved taunting. Homie's awesome. I love Homie. He was a really good teammate, but he's a fun guy, and he always loved trying to get into the opponent's heads with stuff like that. So yeah, we end up winning that game, and then we also won the third game, so we qualified for the finals of this tournament. So now, because it's the finals, we're playing against Team Rival, which is the European team. Now, Team Rival, of course, has Deathwalker. This is one of the best teams at the time, right? Probably the best European team. And they also have the best solo laner in the world at the time, Deathwalker. And this was my third month playing solo. So I was only 3 months in solo, and I was up against the best solo laner in the world, right? Keep in mind that this game didn't matter too much. It was just for seeding for the summer finals or something like that. But we basically qualified for the Valencia LAN with DreamHack. And we were going to play against Team Rival just for like seeding or something like that. And I was up against Deathwalker. And what do you guys think happened?
Maybe.
I got farmed, okay? I got farmed. As you guys can see, I get soloed in my lane. I'm playing Kraken. He's Osiris. Osiris ults me under my tower, right? Really low. Kills me under my tower. And guess what he does? To add insult to injury, Deathwalker walks out of my Kraken walls. He walks through them with Osiris passive. Solo kills me, walks away. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
But either way, something that's certainly happening is the solo kill.
We lose. The first game was actually pretty close, but the second game, 0-1, we lost pretty hard. Okay, so the first game pretty close. Second game we get stomped really hard, and we lose the finals to.
Fineokay, absolutely not fine.
No, I'm not. I'm really not F-Dot. Thank you.
All weekend and just being better than anyone.
He was better than me.
What just happened? You just solo killed a couple.
He was better than me. Skips ahead. They stomped us. We literally F6'd. We got owned so hard. We got owned so hard that we F6'd a game. So yeah, we played against Team Rival, and guess what happens? We actually played Team Rival at Valencia. Our first round matchup was Team Rival in Valencia, and we also lost that. Now, going to Valencia was rough because I could already tell with my teammates that they didn't really want to play with me anymore, that they thought I wasn't good enough. Even though I was kind of new to solo and I was getting better and there was things I was improving on, and also our playstyle wasn't always like great for like me to look good. I could tell that my team was already like losing faith in me as a teammate when I was at Valencia. So I traveled across the world and played in a round and a matchup that my whole team kind of knew that we were going to lose, or basically like had no faith in that we would win. So it was rough. I did get to travel to Spain, and that was amazing. Hung out with some cool people there in the Smite Pro League. A lot of friends that I still have to this day. So that was nice. That was a nice experience. It was my first time ever in Europe. But it was definitely, it kind of sucked because it was just like a shitty experience, because like our whole team was just, I don't know. It was like everybody traveled there. Like they didn't even, it seemed like they didn't even want to be there because they just like thought we would lose based on our skill level. Deathwalker and them, no. So yeah, that's what happened. We lost the Valencia tournament. It is what it is. I get kicked after that tournament. Like I said, I kind of already knew that was kind of coming. It felt like that was the general feeling of the team. I get kicked from the team. They didn't have faith that I would keep getting better, you know, as I thought I would, because, you know, I just started playing solo and everything again. I get kicked from the team. Fast forward, I get onto Team Cryptic. We're in the Challenger Cup. We get a spot in the SPL based on some shady stuff, okay? I will admit that. It was on some shady shit, but we get a spot in the SPL. My old team, Space Station, the team that I just got kicked from, was they had replaced me with Scary D. Now, Scary D and I have a lot of history, as you guys can tell, based on the past few finals and everything like that. They replaced me with Scary D. Now it's Homie, Andy, Jigs, and they also get Zatman instead of Vedium. I stay with Vedium. We go to Team Cryptic, and now I start teaming with Sam for Soccer, Shadow Chair, and Gino in the Challenger Cup. Then we get in the SPL, yada, yada, yada. We play in the SPL, and eventually we have to match up against Space Station, my old team. Us versus them, right? Now, this is probably my biggest pop-off game ever. I hard carried this game. My team did really well. They allowed me to hard carry. That's usually what happens when, you know, you're the one like shining. Your team sacrifices in some ways. But this is what put my name on the map as like one of the better solo laners, as somebody that could be on a top team, you know. In fact, after this game, Polar Bear Mike was like, this is the game that he said that like he really recognized me and you know, wanted to team with me basically. So we're winning. I mean, it's a pretty close game. We're only at 10K at 38 minutes. It's pretty close. Sorry, I keep pausing. I just want to give you guys the story. Okay, if you really want to watch the highlights, you can always go to another YouTube. I'm trying to tell you guys about the backstory and everything, right? So it's a pretty close game. We're only up 10K. We're pushing the Phoenix with fire. And it's going a little bit rough.
Gino gets taunted back in, which is good. Gino will fall down. Now Zap gets credit. Now Homie goes up. And he's gonna land right in front of Vedium.
We lose Gino under the Phoenix. Vedium also dies. So it's a 5v3 right now. I'm still pretty healthy as the Hercules. This was the fall split of the same split that we were just playing in, of the summer finals that I was just talking about. So same year. 5 people right here. Get a double push. Sam for Soccer, my boy, stays with me. Gets the last breath off. Poison double spreads. Andy dashed into me, so I push him and Homie. Get a double push. We got to see that again, maybe.
Savage come out. 3-man kick coming out for the Hercules. There's another heal from the Bracer.
They group up on me, so Kick gets a big last breath off, dashes through everybody, and then I pull Homie and push him, but Andy dashes into me and it double spreads again. So we're basically winning a 3v5. I don't even think Shadowchair was able to hit too much based on like how like the angles of the fight were. So it was basically a 2v5, 2v3, 2v4, whatever. Good man of Sam to stick with me there. So Shadowchair and I decided to troll a little bit and just like fight 2v2 for a while for fun. We're 40 minutes into a game. But the separate barely saved him. I pushed him away so he doesn't get killed, and then he gets his one off again so he can heal. Barely doesn't hit the 2. Stellar Burst is what it's called. So yeah, we're basically just trolling here, 2v2ing for fun. I'm just like hitting them because like, hey guys, what's up old team? I get taunted by Erling. Shadowchair comes back. My boys stayed with me for right or for wrong. I don't know if these are the correct plays, but couple of basics. That's one of my favorite F-dot lines. Couple of basics. Couple of basics. I hit him with a little bit of a taunt, you know. After a lot of these plays, I was taunting to get in their heads, right? Because they had kicked me and I was owning them, and you know, I wanted to win the game. At this time, a lot of the regular season games, since this is a regular season game, it was not even a best of 3. It was 2 games. Really weird how it worked. You played 2 games, and if it went to 1-1, if you each won a game, that was it. Like that was all you played. You didn't play until like there was a, you know, decided winner. So yeah, this game, we're still in the same game. This is a few minutes later. So that was the first play of the game. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty fun. Made for very good viewing. At this time, I'm pretty sure this game had like 30,000 viewers for a regular season game, and the chat was popping off. It was insane. It was my first time feeling like just getting like chills from like seeing people react to my pro play, you know what I mean? So we're pushing down the left Phoenix again. Sam gets insta-killed by Andy. Andy owned him. So they're chasing us out, right? This is a 4v5 the entire time. It's a 4v5. Huge boulder for me. Nice ult from Shadow as well. But nobody's quite dead. They're low, but they're getting out. I have shield of regrowth. Look at me. I have shield of regrowth. Look at me up here. Come back, Jigs. So that's one. That's one pull push in a row. Who's next? Who's next? Oh, Zap, come here, buddy. That's 2.
There's the kill for the Hercules himself.
Scary, you want to leave? Come back, buddy. That's 3. I'm spam taunting as I walk in the Titan room. You know I'm doing that. Andy beats early. Come out of the fountain, buddy. That was 4, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
5.
He was OP, right?
Fineokay again.
I think that was actually. I think there was like 7 in a row that I hit. I think hit like 6 or 7 pull pushes in a row. 'Cause I didn't count it before, so yeah, that was like my first true pop off game. That's when I realized. I mean, maybe I already felt like I could, but maybe other people realized that I could be a top solo laner. So flash forward. I was thinking of flashpoint. Fast forward. I guess you could flash forward as well. Fast forward a while. Now I'm on Counter Logic Gaming with some of my old, well, one of my old teammates. At this time, Homie wasn't on the team, but earlier on in the year, we had Homie and Jig, so I actually teamed with them again. Because we actually picked up Herwin and Snoopy, who I thought were going to be really good for the team, and were really good for the team. I kind of said that weird, but we're actually playing in another qualifying game. The winner of this game goes on to play a different team, but the winner of that game was actually going to qualify for Worlds, basically. So this is a very important game. It's a best of 3. It's tied 1-1. Look who I'm playing against. Scary D, Sanford Soccer, Paul, Nirima, and Zapman. Look who I'm playing against. I have a history with playing against this team. I also have a history with getting really ahead of them and still losing. Because, spoiler alert for this, what we're about to watch, we lose this game. Even though we probably should have won, you know? I've been saying that for 2 years, though, so it is what it is. But yeah, I have a huge history against this team. I'm playing Kokolin once again, 2-0-5, popping off. Scary was really, really far behind, and we were owning. You know, we're up 14k, 27 minutes in. We have Fire Giant. We have 1 Phoenix down. Again, the winner of this game basically qualifies for Worlds. You have to play a different team, but everybody kind of had confidence that they would beat that team, at least from NA that was. That was true. So we're trying to push a Phoenix that's already half health. We have one Phoenix down. Fire Giant. Everything's looking good. Everything looks so good. So nice. Ares Blink ult gets one. We insta-kill Scary, but he gets his ult off. That's the problem. And Paul just one-shot me. I don't know if you guys see it, but he literally one-shot me. He hit me with like 5 autos and a 1 and a 3, and I just died. Because this is what Paul does. Look at him. Look at his team compared to him. 0 and 4. 0, 0, and 2, 0 and 3. You know, Sam's getting in there, but he's also doing some work. 3, 3, and 2. But of course, Paul, like Paul does, is 4, 0, and 0 somehow in a game where he's down 15k and has all these items. These items were like, this is just such a sick build to have at this point in the game. And because of that, he just absolutely one-shot me. And at this time, you still went TP, so you didn't have like thorns to reflect a lot of that damage or beads, so you could actually get out of the damage and stuff like that. So once you got into the backline and they had their damage items online, they just one-shot you. So you had to be really, really careful about it, or you had to just get in there and hopefully with your death you would win the game. So they win that fight really hard. They get Fire Giant off of it, and then they basically push. Now I want you guys to watch this though. This isn't a highlight of me. In fact, I'm part of the reason probably that we lost this game. But watch Herwin try to defend this Titan.
Herwin's damage, but Jigs isn't tanky enough. Zapman eradicates him. It's just Herwin left to try.
He plays this so perfectly. Dashes through. Kumba hits the Terra as well. Gets the combo off. Terra dies. Hits the ult on both of them. Mantle proc barely saves Chronos. Literally lives with 1 HP to kill the Titan. If they all die there, we win that game. That trifecta obviously is the same as SK, who is also the same as what were they? Pittsburgh Knights this year. This is all the same team, right? They have a history of having those kind of games. Did you guys see how close that was? Insane, right? But we go home, of course. So that sucks that we lost the game like that, you know, and didn't qualify for Worlds, and that was the end of that team, unfortunately. But it is what it is, and moving on. Now, after my stint on CLG, the plays that I made on like Cryptic and everything like that, a lot of top teams had noticed me, and I got an offer to play with Mike and Panda. And then, oh, excuse me, sorry, that was gross. They also were going to play with Captain Twig, so he was going to be the jungler, and then we just needed to figure out our ADC option or a mid option because Panda was willing to go to mid, and we picked up Arkle because he was such a beast. Arkle ADC, Panda mid, and then I would be playing solo lane for that team. So I got an opportunity to play with some absolute beasts. This is our first ever set. This was 2 years ago, right? Now, as you guys can see, we're playing at LAN. You guys see us down here. 2 seasons ago or 2 years ago, we started playing Smite on LAN, the SPL. We started playing on LAN, just the regular season and stuff. That's how it's supposed to be. Obviously, right now, it's a little bit different because of COVID, but that's how it's supposed to be. And this brings back memories. When I was putting this video together and remembering, like 2 years ago, the start of the year and playing in person with the boys, like being at the team house, driving to the studios, playing in the studios, seeing all the high-res people, like going out for like dinner and stuff afterwards, celebrating, just having fun. Like, I took it for granted. Like, it was such a good time. We had so much fun, you know, like blasting music on the way to the games, coming back, you know. Even when we lost, like, we still hung out. We went to the gym. We did stuff together, and it was amazing. I mean, it really, like, it makes me happy, you know what I mean? So yeah, this was our first ever set as a team, team rival, that is. You know, obviously we were Ghost this year after Ghost bought Rival, or Rival bought Ghost, whatever you want to say. First ever match together. This is also Team Dignitas's first ever match together. Now, the reason I put these clips in here is not because I want to show you me solo killing Variety. The reason I think I dominated this matchup is because I had a Discordia passive, and this was when Arthur was absolutely broken, okay? This is when he was, like, absolutely busted. He did way too much damage before they nerfed him a little bit, and he was also new, so a lot of people didn't really know how to play against him, and Variety actually thought this matchup was good because Kama is pretty good in Arthur. He can keep up and sustain and stuff. But the problem is I had a Discordia passive, and Discordia passive trumps all 1v1 matchups because it gives you so much damage, right? The reason I put all these clips in here, we actually end up losing this game. But I just want you guys to see the damage numbers that I did this game. Okay, I want you to check the charts over here in the bottom left. Right? I just skipped ahead. This is further on in the game. I'm 1 in 3 because I keep getting ganked. I solo kill him under his tower at full HP. Look at the damage. Look at the damage charts. I'm now at 23k, okay? Like I said, this is when Arthur was at his absolute most busted. It's 0-1, by the way. We're losing 0-1. And we actually lose this game, so we go down 0-2. We almost come back and win the set. We bring it back to 2-2. and then we lost the last game. And in one of the games, I played Geb, and Variety played Sylvanas. We had a Geb versus Sylvanas in solo lane. I have no idea why or how that happened, but it happened. So if you want to watch that, go check out the actual game. Team Dignitas versus Team Rival, Season 6. So not really. This is just a clown fiesta of a fight. Mike barely barely doesn't get a kill and dies there. I'm not really like. There's a lot going on. I think I'm chasing out Herwind right now or doing something weird. Yeah, chasing him out and I get him. Okay, so now look at the damage charts. I'm at 38k. The next closest person in the entire game is Variety at 17. Okay, look at the damage difference. Look at this bar compared to everything else. Okay, I have all of my damage, all of my team's damage combined. I'm not trying to say that to gloat. I just think it's funny because that's how broken Arthur was, especially with the Discordia passive, and how funny, like, Kama had healed so much throughout the laning phase that a lot of the damage that I have is just like solo lane damage that like is just sustained up. Doesn't really affect that much. Look at this damage. Watch this. Auto cancel. Take him into the ult. I hit him with just an ult. Look at his health bar. It's at 35% or 40%. Captain Took hits him with a 3, and then I hit him with a 1, and he just dies. He took Arthur ult, an Achilles 3, and an Arthur 1, and he just died. So it's a pretty long game, 55 minutes, really close. Look at the damage charts again. 63k as a solo laner. Next closest person is an X-Ball. A late game X-Ball, 60 minutes into a game, right? When you're just stacking damage with your elbow, your kin size, and everything. The next closest is 20k under an Arthur who is full tank. I'm literally full tank. I have a Glad Shield and a Void Shield, but those are tank items, right? They're bruiser items. So I'm getting chased out, and I die, and we lose this game. We lose this game at 60 minutes. Like I said, though, we actually come back and bring it to 2-2 and then lose the last game. This was our first match ever in the SPL together. After this game, we lose this match against Dignitas, and then for the spring split, we win every other game. We win out. We don't lose a single other game. We start to learn how to play together. The very next matchup we had, Pittsburgh Knights. So Team Dig and Pittsburgh Knights were considered to be like probably the two best European teams in this start of the season for the SPL. And Pittsburgh was considered to be the super team. I mean, look at their team: Deathwalker, Vote, Emilzy was one of the best sports at the time, if not the best. Adapting, obviously, adapting is adapting, and Zero is one of the better mid lanes of the SPL, career of the SPL history. And so we're coming in out after our loss against Dignitas. We play this team the very next week, and this was the true test. This is where I was truly going to be tested now that I'm on a top team, if I can keep up with players like Deathwalker. And what do I pick when I'm playing against a player like Deathwalker when we're down 1-0? And it's actually a best of 5. I don't know why it says best of 3. All of the matches throughout this whole year were a best of 5. What do I play when I'm against Deathwalker, the best solo laner in the world, perhaps? I play Circuit solo. So this is the start of the game. Usually, like, Pittsburgh especially like to go for, like, blue buffs and stuff, and they would like to pressure in the early game and get wards. We knew that, so we went for a kill on Emilzy. We double horrific, but, this is the catalyst for how well I played this game. I get the first blood. Just like that, for free. I get the first blood for free, and now, any character with first blood's gonna do well, but... So now we're at level 6. This is later on in the game. We chase out Deathwalker at his back camps, and I catch his ult with my ult.
We'll see you later. They're cool. They don't have to look.
Exactly. Cool guys don't look at explosions, so... Basically, the point of all these clips is just to show you that I fucking hard carried a game as Circuit solo in the SPL. So a little bit of self-indulging, okay? A little bit of self-indulgence, if that's okay. Now I'm 4-0. We just keep kind of ganking Deathwalker, keep my lead up, get these kills going. Because I went Blink first, and you just want to make use of that Blink. Not a lot of people, most people at this time were still going Teleport. Pretty much everybody was still going Teleport, and then I was actually going Blink on some of my characters, especially something like Circuit, so I could make early plays. And this is like the power of it. This is what it can do. It can get you some kills and just let you snowball. And then people started going TP a little bit more, or other relics a little bit more. But TP was still good, obviously. 6-0.
And again, I don't think it's been an individual performance by anybody. I'd say that so far, Arkill's been a little bit underwhelming.
This is one of the more well-known plays from this game. We ganked Deathwalker again. He's just kind of a free kill. It doesn't have beads, has TP, and I'm Circuit. I can kind of just lock him down. He actually almost gets out here.
chunking. Deathwalker should have his ultimate
But,
up
you know, we would have
so
been able to chase him.
he
I'm
is
Surcat.
not going to be able to escape in
So this, okay, so it wasn't that play, but this play. This is one of the more remembered plays from this
7-0
game. 7-0 at this point.
Insanity. Still a tie game though. Team rival inching forward.
Adapting, coming in for the 1v1. Oh, you want to take this 1v1? Jump over his ult, dive in and almost kill him. He barely lives. If he TP's in there, he's dead. Now he's sitting under his tower, and I have Captain Twig coming, or Ben.
And he ain't done yet.
No, you get the kill.
From the front side. Fineokay.
My man is dialed in right now.
I was dialed in.
Wants some more, and Fineokay
Look, he wants to execute me? I don't think so.
Ends up getting out of that fatal strike range and a mealsy.
This game was like, this isn't even like the best like game ever. It's just there's so much like so many flashy plays on a character that you'd never see in solo. Zeros is really low, by the way, because I dove him before. I was rotating over and he was really low, or he was full health, and then I went on him and got him really low, and then he tried to go back under the tower. So other cool guys don't look at explosions. They just straight up kill him. I had Ansile. Like, look at my build. I'm just like so tanky for him.
There's a 4-on-5. There's a knockup. There's a pin. Deathwalker in trouble. Half HP.
Facing out Deathwalker, Neja's pretty easy to kill in those scenarios.
Puts him down.
I get the kill there, and then watch this. I dash through Achilles to block his ult so he doesn't get away.
He's so sick.
He gets the kill aggressively, and then
Listen to aggro.
his team gets the kill via being the utility man. What more can you ask for?
He's so sick.
He jumped over.
He's so sick and so cool, and I want him to be my friend.
I don't know if you guys heard that. The commentary is kind of low because I didn't want it to be too loud so I could talk over it a little bit. But Aggro is like, he's so sick. He's so cool. I want him to be my friend. That's funny.
This game.
Yeah. I end the game 11-3, 10 assists, 40 minutes. And I was giving him a little bit of taunting there because it was going to be a close set, you know? So yeah. We basically hard carried that game, which is awesome. Look at Max. Max is like, what the f just happened? And now, with the I guess the self-indulgence, we also need to show the humbling experiences. Now, the story behind this is, like I said, we won out that spring split, right? We lost to Dignitas, but then we won every other single game. So we were number one. We were first seed. We come into the qualifying land. We're going to play a Challenger Cup team because the first round is supposed to be very easy, right? The first round is supposed to be easy, right? You're supposed to play a pretty easy team as the first seed. That's just how seeding works, right? You get rewarded for doing well in the regular season. We play against Armada. Look who's on Armada. Solar Troll. Masked. Mask at this time was still probably a top 3 jungler. He just wasn't playing in the SPL. Meerkat, who is their mid laner. You're probably wondering, why is Meerkat playing Erling Shen? Oh, you'll see. Gino, obviously a very good support. I played with him. He's a great guy and was also just playing in the Challenger Cup because he didn't really want to play in the SPL because at this time you had to commit to coming to Atlanta to play. And a lot of people were in college. A lot of people didn't want to move and everything like that. Snoopy, the same thing. One of the best hunters in the history of SPL. So all of these players are very SPL capable players. But at the time, they were a Challenger Cup team. And at the time, we should beat this team like 99 times out of 100, right? Just based on like how well we were doing, the players that we have, and everything that was going on in the season. However, that is not what happened. Okay, we played against Armada, best of 3, qualifying first round. This was the tournament to play an MSI. It was called MSI, Mid-Season Invitational. I'm not going to show a ton of highlights from this game because, one, I don't want to rewatch them. No, I don't really care that much. But also, I don't even really remember like what plays I should show you. So I just put a couple in here. Here's Arco getting soloed by Snoopy. Snoopy popping off on the Vulcan ADC against Arcos on her. Arcos is like one of the best on hers ever. Unfortunate. The worst part about this series is I wasn't a factor, you know? And in both ways. I don't think I really did much for us to lose, but I also didn't really do much for us to win, which in my opinion, not doing much for your team to win is worse than not doing anything to lose. I'd rather you play to win than play to lose, right? So even though I don't, like, we kind of just got snowballed through like these mid ganks and through this duo pressure and these red invades, I wasn't a like last hope, or I wasn't like a win condition for my team in this set. So I honestly think that's worse than just not losing the game for your team. So honestly, it was just such a shitty set. We end up losing, of course, to a Challenger Cup team as the #1 seed. This day was so weird for us, man. Like, it felt weird going into this set. Like, something was off, and we lost the first game, obviously, against Erling mid. You know, that Erling Shen pressure with the Rat Acorn Rush killed Max a few times, and also just kind of ran at Captain Twig or Ben on the nade job. Both those characters are going to be very bad from behind. They're just going to get run down by something, especially like with all this pressure that they have. So yeah, we lose this first game pretty handily. And then game 2 is pretty much the same story. After losing one game in a situation like this, Aggro's right. Look at us. Ben's like, what the hell? I'm like, what just happened? Max is trying to figure out why he's getting ganked at level 2 and dying. He's probably a little bit pissed. They're happy because they're just playing for fun at this point. Like, they probably knew that they could win because they're all good players, but they didn't really take the Challenger Cup that serious. They didn't really. I don't think they really scrimmed that much at all. And they kind of went into this matchup, you know, this set with some cheese strategies, I guess you could say. They're not really that cheese, but just some like off meta stuff. And so they were happy, obviously, to beat us. We're also all friends. Literally everybody on their team is friends with everybody on our team. Max and Gino literally grew up together, like they're best friends throughout their whole life. Like, there's some there's a lot of picks that you can do that with. There's some stuff there, you know. It's really up to Rival to try and find a bunch. I'm just showing you the end of this because I want you guys to see Hindu. Watch this.
I think you got a good point there, but to be fair, Assassins and Warriors are pretty good at stealing away all those buffs early. Maybe that'll work for them. We'll see though if there's any ideas from the guys on the desk.
Come on, Finch and Aggro. You guys look good. Look at him.
We got to discuss that. How did they do that? Armada won the game against Rival, who are the #1 team.
As you guys can see. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it, guys. That was a bit of a long video, but, you know, wanted to explain some stuff, talk to you guys about things, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, we lost to Armada, and we did not play at the MSI because that was the qualifying round. We just needed to win that set, and then we would qualify for the MSI. But sad to leave it on a sad note like that. But of course, there's more to my SPL career. We had last year, we had the World's Finals. We have, or 2 years ago, that was World's Finals. And then just last year, we won every tournament besides World's Finals. We lost 3-2, and you know, if you want to watch that, you can. Maybe I can make a second video talking about that. That is something that I could do if you guys are interested in it. But yeah, there's some history behind my SPL career. There's a lot more to it. Like I said, there's other games that I probably forgot about, other things going on, probably other highlights, maybe some lowlights. Who knows? Maybe there's that clip of Herwin juking me with his Janus portal when I'm tier, even though that wasn't the SPL. That was, I don't know. Regardless, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys learned something from the backstory, found it interesting, entertaining, or anything like that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. And yeah, maybe I can do more videos like this if you guys are interested in it. Yeah, stay safe and healthy as always, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Rolls, trips, feather step one more time, trying to avoid. Fineokay puts Team Rival on the board, punishes the aggressive jungler. And Cyclone near to fall, will as well. Double kill for the Soloid rotation. Fineokay lining it up, going for kill number 4. He has a quadra kill, almost accidentally.
No mistakes. Just happy little accidents, guys.